one.
Someone in chat says, I learned from this game I should build more spores. I never build them, and the other games I always think I should have. Don't ever build that many spores. It's a very specific thing. If you see your opponent making 1 billion Phoenix, yes. Otherwise, terrible decision. There's like the bronze guy in chat who now builds 14 spores at each base every game. And I'm like, oh no. They cost a lot of money. They're only against a very specific style like that. And you got to build a crazy number of drones to actually afford that. Because it costs a drone and 75 minerals for each one. So I've seen just as many people ruin their economy by building spores as I have defend their economy adequately. So there's an art form to it. But
That's
speaking...
what I was just about to say, is that it doesn't just cost you money, it costs you your workers as well. So if you're sitting on 20 drones, you're like, yes, I'm defended, and your Protoss opponent's got 40 probes and 3 bases. It's like, eh.
Indeed. Well, down here in the bottom right-hand side, guys, welcome to the next series. He's permanently on fire. He hails from the Ukraine. It is Bly on fire. Or just Bly.
It is indeed. Or just Bly. The Wild Man. And it's up left here, getting knocked to the losers bracket by Godlin. It is Alpha X's Vindicta.
Well, Godlin is just the Terran Slayer.
Not Clem, though. This Godlin is down here because of Clem.
Oh, Clem figured it out. That's good. Clem did, of course, fall to him yesterday, but managed to bring it back after that. So that's good.
So what happened is really funny, because I did Vindicta Goblin and then followed Goblin into Goblin Clem. And Goblin did the exact same build on the exact same maps. They worked against Vindicta. Against Clem, they super did not work. Like, it was the opposite of work.
Which builds was it? Was it the aggressive ones or just the Phoenix, like, carrier?
They were all very aggressive. So on Nightshade, which was game 1 against Clem, he went for a proxy Dark Shrine, the exact same spot he did against Vindicta. It was... I mean, Clem just sort of showed up with a couple of Marines and some Hellions and actually just, like, killed 30 probes. And the DTs, yeah, they did damage, but not enough. And then game 2 was actually on Everdream, and Goblin went for the double proxy Robo.
Oh, right next to the natural again? Like really close, yeah.
Really close to the natural, which Clem scouted before the Robos were even like a quarter of the way done, and he just put a bunker right next to it. So Goblin kept trying to build pylons next to it.
Yes.
And the bunker was just killing all the pylons, and
I was
Goblin
thinking
went for a corner base and tried to make a game out of it, but it didn't work out.
I was thinking about that build, and I was like, why don't I ever build it that close? And then I was like, well, whenever I do, if it gets scouted, they just fucking don't let the Robos get up, man. Like, if they pull a bunch of SCVs down there, and like maybe put a bunker down, like I can't get those Robos up. That's why I've never done it like that before. So, Vindicta's blocking the front base with his SCV. That's kind of weird. Or I guess he's just scouting it. Bly just gonna go for the normal one.
Yeah, it's all pretty normal from Bly so far. No roach rush or anything like that. It's just three hatchery it around when you want to get it. I mean, Bly is a bit more of an aggressive Zerg, to say the least. You know, that's kind of underselling it, but maybe Vindicta expects the triangle expansion from the Zerg that wants to be closer to the Terran rather than further away. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to figure that one out.
What's so cool about the Vindicta versus Bly matches we've cast in the past is Vindicta's always killing it against Bly. And there is like a certain point the game hits where Bly just like, it feels like he catches Vindicta so unprepared and off guard for what happens next, and everything falls apart so quickly, right? A lot of the time when Bly defeats Vindicta, it feels like there's Vindicta has the game mapped out to a certain point, and Bly's like, oh, all right, you can adapt to this. Can you adapt to this? And he's like probing it, and he's twisting, and he's turning, and he's pivoting his strategy. And at a certain point, we see Vindicta just suddenly gets absolutely blitzed by a good Baneling surround, or runs into a burrowed Baneling, or, you know, a Ravager push just completely catches him with his pants down. It's this kind of funny thing where obviously it so often looks like Bly is losing a game, but he can just turn that around very suddenly. So Vindicta, I think, goes into this match with scouting at the forefront of his mind, with trying to stay on top of what Bly is doing and trying to maintain the momentum and control against a player who always wants to take that off you.
Now, we got a Banshee here from Vindicta as well, so he's just being as careful as possible. It's one of the safest things you can do as a Terran is to go for a Banshee in the early stages, but, you know, only the really good Terrans can make that Banshee actually game-winning. If you're up against a good Zerg, the Banshee usually gets deflected pretty well, and Bly does see this Tech Lab spinning and the Starport, so he knows it's coming.
Oh, he does spot that. Nice. Gets the Overlord out as well, at least for now. Yeah, the Banshees surviving is a big one as well. This map Simulacrum, lots of wide open spaces. Creep spread's very important. It's a very important thing. And we do see a quick stim on the way here. Extra barracks going down, so it's going to be a bio transition. And is that just single Banshee? Wow, no cloak because it was spotted. Just says, you know what? You're going to build spores. I'm going to go straight to the bio, the stim, the third base, the double upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
So we got the, ooh,
He just cancelled.
From Bly.
Did he cancel a Bane Nest for that? I think it was a Bane Nest he cancelled. It was something definitely got cancelled. I'm not sure what it was, but what's the drone? 47 drones, 5 queens, 2 more. Already a bunch of Zerglings out. The Roach Warren's very late. So he can start this with Queen Ling, but it's going to be a while until he can actually get the meaty roaches through it. So it's a reactive Nidus Worm trying to take advantage of the opponent. I think it's hard to stop the Nidus getting up. But with a tank already building and Marines already looking for the Nidus Worm, I think Vindicta's reasonably well prepared.
Yeah, he's got Marines right next to it. So Vindicta sees it immediately, pulls SCVs, try and burn it down.
Banshee and Hellion racing home. There's everything is coming home to try and defend this, of course. He's going to get up, but nothing allowed to get out of there. And the Marines are going to clear that up, of course. The bottom of the natural is the other likely expansion. I like this choice by Bly. Just goes on the outside of the wall for now. Remember that Bly is in his element when he has Ravagers killing your entire wall with Corrosive Bile and then just swapping into Lingbane off the back of it. And off 47 drones, this isn't like a 30 drone crazy all-in, I gotta kill you attack. He can just make things awkward, spread creep, contain Vindicta, and look for some pickoffs.
Well, the Lings and the Queens here from Bly going for that big all-in. Third baseman Vindicta along with the depots holding into that wall. Nidus in the main as well, which is very far along. Banshee's here though, should be able to DPS it down.
Ooh, the Queens don't get the transfuse down though. He thought he might barely get it, doesn't quite get it out in time. Pops back out at the front. He's gonna have to just settle for droning now. Yeah, good choice. So I'd love to see, yeah, Roach Speed, double Evo, droning. Bane Nest will come down soon as well. As long as, I think we'll see Bly start focusing on his creep spread. And, oh, cute little Hellion counterattack from Vindicta.
I like this. Bly is very focused on the attack at the moment, and he is bringing some units back home, realizing that the Hellions are on the run.
Don't dive, Vindicta. Vindicta should not dive with this, though, because you know he's got a Nidus Worm. You just want to create threat, and I think he went just a little too deep.
Yeah, got on that creep for a second there. Link surrounding a couple of these Hellions. One of them gets eaten. The backside Hellion here is also going to get eaten there. Yeah, Vindicta's run by ended up costing him a couple Hellions.
Yeah. Doesn't get many Zerglings for it. He's microing his little heart out. Notice he's trying to stop on the corner and shoot
I like
there.
the Marines.
Ooh, where the hell did that come from? I didn't even notice that. My bad. Nice little counterattack here from Vindicta. Realizing that Bly was no longer all in, and that is a huge pick-off. 3 drones, a bunch of mining time. Slows down the follow-up. The Biles are still going down in the front, but a lot of these depots are actually still alive, so Bly not being nearly as annoying as he would like to.
One of these depots is about to burn down, but Vindicta has got all those bunkers up anyway, so he's kind of running into a meat grinder if Bly sends in all the Lings.
The Lings do spot this triple drop. That's very important for Bly. He's got to bring a lot of units home. I'd like to see the Queens and the Roaches. Get in the Nidus! Oh, Bly's panicking. He's running his Roach Ravager home rather than just loading it out from the Nidus. This is a big misplay from Bly. He is not going to have enough units, and these Marines are going to do big damage.
Well, Marines and Marauders here helping out with those Lings. The Lings just disappear. The Marines just tear them apart. We got their 1-1 upgrades. Roach is coming for the backside, though. There's that firepower that Bly needed. Finally forces those bio units to load up into the medevac and get out of there. This Banshee to the south. Well, she doesn't have Cloak, but she's still pretty annoying because Bly doesn't have anything down here at the Satchery that shoots up. And now Vindicta's getting rid of Bly's creep and Nidus Worm head down at that natural. He can finally take his third in a second.
And the creep has not been as explosive as we'd like to see from Bly. Bly, when he's had his most successful, he gets a lot of creep going backwards from this. Instead, just 2 scans, every active creep tumor cleared up on his side of the map. So Vindicta, I mean, he does lose the Banshee to the Queens on the bottom side. The creep is now starting to explode across the middle of the map, but there was definitely a bit more downtime on all of this than you would expect from Bly. I've seen Bly be a lot more on top of that in past games. That being said, work account's decent for Bly. He's up a base, and as he just keeps swapping these Nidus Worms, it'll give him a bit of flexibility in how he moves around this map.
Vindicta's got a lovely spread of tanks and bio. A big concentration of tanks at the third base for sure. Bly had an army that looked like he wanted to go for an attack, but that triple drop from Vindicta is hitting the main base. Bly's got Roaches in position, though. He saw that drop in the middle of the map, and likewise, Vindicta saw the move out from the Zerg army in the middle of the map at the same time. So Vindicta loading up. He's got 4 more medevacs loaded up to the north side. He's
very
throwing away
ballsy.
so much of his front line. Like, what if Bly just arrives with a ton of lings right now?
He senses that he's got control. You know, there's no anti-air, so the drop was pulling so many units to defend both the main and the low ground. He was able to threaten 2 bases at once, and now he realizes he can just twist. He can turn, he can pivot, go in a different direction. And yeah, it's 5 tanks with literally no support. But Vindicta here, I love it. I love that he's not playing overly safe. You know, he's saying, let's just keep the aggression up. I'm going to be the one to trade with you. You don't have anti-air. You can't stop this. Your queens are too slow. They can't deal with it. I'm going to hit the north, redrop in the main, and each one of these little trades is going to favor me.
Oh, this hatchery still damaged from that earlier drop. It's going to go down. Big pick off there for Vindicta. Bly's economy knocked down at 3 bases. 62 workers is nice, but on 3 bases, quite a bit less nice.
Yeah. Bly, of course, is one of the players who's much more able to still compete in a game when he's down economically. A lot of players, I think it's almost like they lose direction when they end up economically behind a Terran, but Bly has a very deep understanding of all the comeback mechanics of his race. He understands the power of creep, of a good flank, a good engage, surprising your opponent with Banelings on the Marines when they're looking elsewhere. But so far, Vindicta has locked himself down at home and is now gearing up for this gigantic 2-2 push. 2-2 is not done yet for Bly, man. Bly's got to slow this down. He's got to wait for his upgrades.
Slow it down with what? This army is terrifying.
5 Banelings and 19 Roaches. Oof. 29 Banes morphing.
Yeah. That's definitely a good count of Banes, especially if this army's on creep. But those tanks, man. It's a lot of tanks.
Oh my god. Vindicta's so ballsy. Pushing it on the south side with a drop. Lings, though, find the mineral lines, and that's going to kill quite a few SCVs. Oh, wow, that third base gets ravaged. He jumps on the tanks! Oh,
my
no.
God, Vindicta's tanks! Pathing error there from Vindicta. He loses every single tank, and he's only got the bio now as a presence on this side of the map. Meanwhile, Bly's fling run by killing 13 SCVs. What happened? I mean, Vindicta still has 4 bases, and he still has the ability to replenish that work account. Bly slightly less so, but damn. That turned this from a win into maybe this game keeps going.
Yeah, this game's absolutely still going now. You've lost all your anti-Ravager Bane. Biles, Banelings, great anti-bio units, but Vindicta says, okay, droppings got me this far. I'm going to keep doing it. The Queens are in the main, though. Somewhat ready. There's no support for them, though. The units are way out of position, and Vindicta is watching, is going to run in and jump on top, stimming down these Queens. And with that, suddenly Bly is once again reeling. It seems like just the mobile drops is what he's had the most success with, and that's what he's got to keep it up with. One of these medevacs might go down, but no, almost everything escapes, and he's going to get the 4th.
He was a good call on that drop play. Vindicta found the nuts. He did so much damage to Bly just now. Oh, man, but Bly is barely mining at the moment, and losing those queens does certainly suck. He's lost a lot of creep in the middle of the map as well. 1 tank from Vindicta. I mean, Vindicta hates his tanks. We've established that. Another one just goes down the middle of the map.
I mean, he's doing good with the drops. He's got a 4th base up. So, I mean, Vindicta's still got everything going his way with the 3-3 upgrades. We've got mutas coming out now. Any other Zerg player is dead here, for sure. I'd be talking about, okay, it's pretty much over. I still got a little bit of hope for Bly. He's got to respread the creep. He's got to reassert control. But it's all about catching these Marines in a big ball. Now, so many players, the way they lose games when they're this far ahead against Bly is they push deep on creep, and their Marines just get flanked in a big tight clump. Nowhere to spread. The Banelings end up getting big connections. There's no Widow Mines or anything like that. It's just tanks. So I want to see Vindicta be careful and just keep dropping and stretching Bly out. It's the little trades that are favoring Vindicta all game long. He's got to keep up that drop play, keep up that multi-prong.
Oh, the Muta's going to arrive, and Vindicta is super not ready for Mulus. He's got 1 turret, but everything's a little bit damaged. No building armor or anything like that. Only a handful of Marines here.
Yeah, not many Marines there. Those Mutas doing a good job. There is a counter drop on the north, and I feel like... Oh, the Marine flank. Oh, no! The Mutas! Oh.
All right, that ended up going really well for Vindicta. And the drop to the top right is going to catch that hatchery. Now, there is enough from Bly where he's going to stop that hatchery from going down.
He's going to catch the rest of the Mutas, though. The rest of the Mutas. Oh!
Okay.
Good save. Things still looking very rough with a 20 army supply for Terran, only 14 Banelings on the map. You need about 50 Banes to equalize this, and without that Bane count, I don't know how you can possibly take this out. The tanks now have an amazing position, and this time Vindicta not walking them into the army on siege. It's a rough position for Bly here, and Vindicta, he's in control. The Mutas are going to come in on the back.
I got some Marines down here to shoo away those Mutas. Vindicta continuing to keep this pressure alive. Bly's found that there's only a small pocket of Marines there, so he keeps fighting a little bit more. Just trying to buy time for his Ling Bane and Ravager. Okay, everything coming in for the Zerg. Not buying time anymore. He wants to get it done now.
Good engage.
Cleans up the tanks again.
Good engage. All that bio is very overstimmed. The mutas go too deep, though, and they do take a lot of damage. He's down to just 12 mutas, and that's a problem. Oh! Daddy Thor has arrived. Critical mass of bio. Critical mass. 6 Banelings out right now. The Biles have to buy time, and they do.
Ooh. Yeah, good Biles there, killing quite a few Marines. Half a dozen Marines went down.
Bly hanging on. And you know what? The supply is still dead even, Maynard. Like, this is crazy. If he gets one more good counter attack into the mineral line, like this third or this natural, I think he buys enough space. And look at the creep spread. This is what Bly is so doggedly continuing in the midst of the action. He has replaced the creep everywhere Vindicta has cleared it, except for that bottom path that just got pushed. Every other path, the creep is deep out on the map and creating opportunities for Bly to get back in this game. He's so focused on that creep. He knows the advantages that it gives him. And Vindicta, it feels like he's denting the Zerg, but he can't quite finish him off.
Yeah, keeps knocking Bly down on his ass, but Bly keeps getting up, man. Is the Eye of the Tiger. That's a free tank again. How many tanks have died in this game? I'm going to check. 11. Make it 12. Make it 13.
Oh man, this run by, that's what I was talking about. Finding the soft spot on the natural where there's no planetary. A beautiful angle to attack is going to break the way into the main as well. Ravager Bane on the north, looking to just slow that army down. But on top of the production is Bly. The Marines coming out will eventually be able to stabilize, but not until a lot of units have gone down. That muta count, that's a lot of mutas, and they are getting an awesome trade in that main base.
Yeah, those mutas got +1, so they're really cutting through that production, cutting through those add-ons, cutting through all the Marines and tanks that keep popping out. I mean, Vindicta's still trying to make Marines and tanks work against a guy going Ling Bane Muta. That is a little bit tough here for Terran, I feel. You're a lot more comfortable when you got those Widow Mines.
Oh, the orbital! Oh my god!
Natural.
I can't believe that went down.
Way.
The Marines had to redrop inside his own main base to keep himself safe here. The Planetary did defend some Zerglings down there, which was nice. But a good bruise to the economy and buys himself a bit of room. Now, unfortunately, oh, damn! 1, 2, 3, 2 mutas do go down. And Bly's only on 57 workers, so... this is very awkward. It's a hard game. It's drawn out. Right now, the unit count, 67 Marines. The problem is the medevac count has been ruined. He's down to 4 dry medevacs, and Vindicta may just kill his own army with stim here. He's under so much pressure from Bly, the more experienced player. I don't think he's even realized how low his medevac count is right now. Too many of them have been sniped, and even one more stim on this army will actually be a huge win for Bly.
Well, he's max, so even if you wanted to make medevacs, you can't really do it. That orbital on the low ground getting forced to lift here from a massive Ling run by, which is doing a lot of damage. Reinforcement Marines from the main base from Vindicta.
Oh!
For the most part.
Good surround, though. The tank actually does a lot of friendly fire, and the muta's doing a good job. They can't actually go up on top of that tank. That was, I think, an overextend there. Bly going deep. He realizes he's got to do something here. Bly's going to have to give up this bottom third base, I think. Vindicta's actually loading up Marines to go back and help defend. He's realizing he needs to keep sending drops home. He changes his mind, brings it back to his army, and look at that army. Deep in the orange and yellow, that's the big danger. Vindicta needs to keep his cool, settle down, and slow this game down.
Well, that's not how Vindicta likes to play it, Pig. A pretty healthy medevac in the main base, a lot of Marines. He actually is going to unload here. The Baneling's not getting the connections that way you want. That was an overextension from Bly.
Yeah, that was a good engage for Vindicta. And it looks like now, after that happens, his army, not overstimming, he's maintaining position. That's all he needs to do. Just tread water here, hold, send a few units forward at a time, pull that drop back, and I think he might have finally done it. It's been a long haul. It's so goddamn hard to finish Bly off. But I think with this base going that basic, I mean, Bly's got to give this up and just run his drones to the top. Vindicta scans and sees that base in the top corner. He's just got to stay patient. He stimmed his whole army there.
Yeah, the rest of his army is streaming on in now. Bly is just putting a ton of resources into mass muta here. He's got a lot more mutas coming out. 17 Banelings on the way. Bly's got one more engagement in the tank. Can he actually clean up this whole army of Vindicta? It seems unlikely.
It's really about Vindicta killing his own army. If Vindicta stims his whole army again, that is the way that Bly wins. So Bly's just got to kind of go, woo, oogie boogie, you know, throw a sheet over your head. You got to do something to just scare him, throw off his momentum. That's where Bly has the winning potential. This army is so deep on creep. You pull him around a bit, there's always the chance for some big Baneling hits. Ooh, good tank shots there. Good tank shots on those Banes.
And also some tanks at the backside going down to the Mutalisks. Very precarious tightrope walk here between both players. Nidus Worm in the main base gets denied as well from the reinforcements from Vindicta's production.
Only 2 tanks left.
That's it.
And
a huge swell of Banelings would actually erase Vindicta's army here, but I don't think Bly has time for it.
And there's a reinforce coming through the creep. Mutas go in, get one more tank. Oh my god. Bly's so patient. Fighting from 2 sides. Muta's in the rear with the gear in this game. The Mutas are going to pick off some of that rally, and the whole army stims to deal with it. Ooh, this is still so scary for Vindicta. He's way ahead. He's going to get ambushed on creep, but the Banelings, there's not quite enough to find the Marines, and an opportunistic dive down the choke point from Bly. Not going to do it. Vindicta, finally, painstakingly, grueling victory after a hard-fought 20 minutes of Bly just ripping it up, man. Sick play from behind from Bly that game.
All right, that was like pulling nails. That's that game one there for Vindicta. Nicely done.
And all the Terran players in the Twitch chat shout, "Die! Fucking die, Zerg! Leave the fucking game! Just die! I've been beating you all game!" It's like, welcome to playing against Bly. They call him the undead Zerg, the player who, you know, you kill him, he just gets back up again. He keeps climbing back up out of his grave. And you're like, no, you're meant to stay in there. He doesn't get it, guys. He's made of tough stuff.
They breed him special up there in the Ukraine. It's a tough people. I like it.
Hells yeah.
All right, we're going to Zen for map number 2. But I have a feeling this game won't be very Zen at all, unfortunately.
The Zen Garden, where everyone chills out and gets their tanks caught running the wrong way around the map. And to be fair, there's some sick spots for Terran to siege up on this map, but things can go wrong either way, right?
That is very true.
Great push paths. There is, of course, those rich gas bases, which no one ever takes, because they are so exposed out in the middle corners of the map. Let's go in here. It's, of course, a best of 3. It's a lower bracket game, guys, so finding himself 1 game away from elimination. In the bottom left, hailing from the Ukraine and representing Raise Your Edge Gaming, it is Bly.
Certainly is. And in the top right here, this in the red is the Alpha X Terran, Vindicta. 1 map away from moving on. And also Bly, 1 map from elimination in the losers bracket. There are a couple really hype matches up there in the winners bracket, and we would love to cover them, guys. But once again, just for anyone that's tuning in, maybe missed the speech earlier, Pig and I are going to always prioritize getting a series over not having anything.
Unless it's like a diamond player versus a pro, where obviously we'd wait for a better one. But this is an even match between these two. They have really close back and forth series. That was an awesome game 1. There's always like one person who's like, but that person's not playing. And I'm always like, you guys are the reason when I tune into the early rounds of a tennis tournament, they're showing Federer versus some unseeded fucking noob. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this shit.
I don't want to watch Federer.
Everyone's like, I want to see Federer. And I'm like, why? I don't want to see Federer play some fucking guy who... He's good. Obviously, he's infinitely better than me. But he's going to get his ass handed to him. Show me the 2 nobodies playing in the first round who are evenly matched and are going to have a grueling fight to get to that second round of the tournament.
Look, Pig, I don't know, man. If there is a match between, say, Clem and Reyna, fuck that, dude. I want to watch Cyril versus Fear Dragon.
Oh, no.
Don't tell me what I want to watch, Pig, all right? You don't own me. You don't decide what I take into my brain through my eyeballs.
Well, that's okay, Maynard chat, but Maynard/Twitch chat. You are wrong. You are wrong, but you're enotitled to your choice to be wrong. It's fine.
Yeah. Everyone is allowed to have a choice to be wrong.
So we've got spawning pool gas there. Vindicta's just like, hey, this is a pretty normal opening. Of course, a big fan of that against Vindicta is Bly. And I'm thinking about some of the weird things we've seen out of Bly. I don't really feel like there's a Zen special. And I mean, realistically, it's Bly. He never gets predictable, right? The sort of almost slight predictability we see from like Roddy in that previous series, we don't really see between these two. So, gets into the extractor, does survive, but Reaper gets a few kills. Now, I wonder if he hangs out or does he go home to defend the Zergling run by?
Well, He does. What is it? What does he got back at home here to actually handle the Ling run by? He's got one Marine. And that natural might be slowed down a little bit. Natural should finish.
Oh, no. It floats to the wrong side. That SCV does not like life. Yeah.
Oh. I wish there was a way to manipulate the SCV RNG a little bit. That'd be cool.
It's like an incredibly hard mechanic. You have to turn your keyboard upside down and like spam two keys like one of those QuickTime events.
Sacrifice the neighbor's kid to the dark gods of esports. Stuff like that.
We're like, oh shit, Vindicta just turned his keyboard upside down to get that SCV to rotate to the middle of the command center. he also slaughtered his neighbor's puppy, but yeah, like, I mean, pretty sick plays, man. 5 roaches? Well. 6 roaches. Ooh, big commit.
Yeah, that's quite a bit here for Bly. He's going to go up against a guy that's going to have Tech Lab Factory, though. There's no tank just yet. Obviously, it takes a little while to come out. Oh, he's doing a switcheroo here. Oh, no.
Reaper comes in. He's going to start a bunker on the low ground, and a roach is going to kill it 2 seconds later. Check this out. I like the... No, drop the mule in the high ground. You've seen a roach, Warren. Otherwise, a perfect response. Actually, not committing to the low ground is the right call. Just run to the high ground. Raise your wall. You've got a pack of Marines, so you'll actually ruin them on the ramp. 2 SCVs, no big deal. Bit of lost mining time. It's okay. Ooh, he's got to get those Hellions inside.
Yeah, Hellions are inside. They get that bit of splash damage on the ramp, as Pig mentioned. He's trying to bring some SCVs to try and repair that wall. Not enough repair on that depot, so the roaches are in.
I think it's fine, though. And he's going to focus down the Marines, of course, is Bly, but I think there's just enough firepower. As long as the SCVs don't die, I mean, it does suck losing those Marines. It would have been better if you repaired that. But only 2 more SCVs. So 4 SCVs in total go down. Can go back to mining as natural. It's not the end of the world there.
The depot's misplaced. There we go. But see, what Bly gains there, he does do a bit of damage. Obviously, he slows down mining at the natural, and he's going for that Spire now just to really go for like the wild whack-a-mole Zerg style.
It's the advanced way of doing it. It's so good. Sorry.
It is so good. But what he's done is, I know that Vindicta tilts. All right, maybe Bly knows that too, and he is getting inside the head of his opponent right now. He is just messing with him. He's got those roaches up the ramp, and Vindicta's just like, "Arr!"
Oh no! And he's gonna go Marauder Hellbat counterattack. And it's going to get there just after mutas are out. Yeah, like this is actually an amazing attack against the 2-base muta because that's a greedy play. You've got to hit, like, as the mutas are just starting, you got to get in there because you've got a limited timer. Nothing you have shoots up, right? Bly keeps the 3rd base alive. Maybe sniping the 3rd is one potential. He's waiting for 2 Vikings to join this. Wait, what is the two? Oh, this is going to be such a... But he's realized it's 2-base muta with the 3rd base. So now he realizes, oh, I can't commit to that timing. He's canceled the armory did finish, but he's going Vikings and a Thor, I think, is what he'll probably swap into. But he builds a 2nd starport. I'm going to stop talking, Maynard. I don't understand Vindicta's build at all.
Yeah. He is, he's flying off the cusp here. I mean, maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. He's definitely a better player than us, but I just don't... There's that Thor. That definitely makes a lot of sense. The extra starport, though. Is he just going for a lot of speed banshees or something? That doesn't make sense against fireplay.
Well,
I guess just to deal with the roaches.
Mass Viking Thor, Maynard. What are we talking? Of course. Yeah. No, I guess it must be Banshee Mech. That's the single Thor on the way. The Vikings are on the way. 2 Marauders are out, which is a good beginning to the defense. But roach speed actually is very frightening. So the Marauders and 2 Vikings come forward. A good quick wall off there, but needed to pull SCVs to buffer. Those Marauders needed to be microed back. With a bit of SCV buffer, that would have been okay. But now losing your anti-roach and a small pack of roaches going to find big damage. You also killed 2 Vikings. Remember, the Vikings were key for the Mutalisk. So Bly here completely disrupting Vindicta's path. And will the Thor defend? Yeah, but not before critical damage has been done.
Yeah, Vindicta is down more than 20 workers at the moment. It's just really devastating. 25 workers in the deficit is Vindicta. It does not feel good, man. But Terran has mules, Maynard. Shut up. Still not good. And here come the Mutalists, and that's going to be the tap out there. Bly ties it up 1 apiece.
So, what just happened there is the reason why
What just happened there?
I never block the 3rd with my Reaper anymore. I'm like, I will block it for up to 2 seconds, and then that Reaper goes straight fucking home. And on a map like Zen, I'll never even go there. If my SCV can beat the drone in a fight, awesome. If it loses, it just runs away, and I'm like, take your 3rd. I'm not letting those early Zerglings run across the map off a hatch first, because it's that disruption. Oh, this command center's delayed? Ah, shit. Okay, all right, we've got that back up. That's okay. All right. Let's go scout with the Reaper. By the time your Reaper gets in, oh, there's already roaches halfway across the map. Oh shit, so you're reeling. You're trying, oh, a bit too slow to repair the wall. Okay, it's all right. We're up. We're stabilized. We're back to mining our base. We're fine. It's all good. Oh shit, why is it the third so late? Oh no, he's going mutas and I was going for this worst timing possible again. Cancel, shit, You just end up in this chaos zone where there's too many things to adapt to, and especially when you're playing as a wildly aggressive Zerg like Bly, I would much rather let Bly just build his third base on location and have my Reaper not let those lings come across the map and mess with my build. Because Bly, he said, here's lings, distracted you. Now here's roaches, distracted and did damage. And now, bam, here's mutas. And then he's reacting so hard to the mutas. He's completely unprepared for, what was that, like 8 speed roaches? Basically won him the game there. Just a typical Bly game. And Vindicta got to be upset about that early game.
Well, hopefully he can tighten things up here for game 3. Because now both players are one map away from elimination. This guy in the top right, the Ukrainian Zerg from Razor Edge Gaming. It is Bly.
And his opponent down here in the bottom left-hand side, he's Alpha AF. Representing Alpha X, it's Vindicta.
Alpha X. If I ever made a like creatine protein powder like supplement brand, I would call it Alpha X.
That's actually a very good name.
or I would call it Omega Chad Alpha X.
Omega Chad Alpha. Yeah. Guaranteed to engorge your balls by 30%.
King of Chad Alpha X.
You know, it just occurred to me that Vindicta's name is quite similar to Vin Diesel. Coincidence?
Vin Diesel was in that really good movie called Bloodshot recently that did so well in the box office.
I saw the trailer to that and I was like, what? Why would I?
Yeah.
What?
As well, and I think that's all I will see.
Like, I can crush skulls now.
I'm Vin Diesel. Bly is going for gas and pool first here with the expansion behind it. So just it's one of those things that if Vindicta does an SCV scout, you can kind of just cancel the low ground command center. But
I think
he's SCV scouting.
I think he was going to save a bit more lava for Zerglings, but he saw the SCV come with his Overlord and built an extra drone. I think it was going to be 4, maybe even going into 6 lings already, but instead it's just 2 into 4 now. And of course, going to try to kill that SCV. He's already rallied to it. And then we're going to see if there's an attempt. It's definitely not ling speed with this gas timing. And the SCV does see that. Sees, okay, clicks the gas, goes, yep, all right. Just potential roach follow-ups. There are many of them. And Bly doesn't care if you know. He'll still go the roach warren if he feels it. He could easily just go a third from here as well. Many options available to the Zerg. Ling speed starts up, not super fast. There's always those delayed Ravager-ling attacks as well. Lots of different options, and a very standard Reaper into the Marine, into Factory and Reactor for Vindicta. Leaves the Reaper at home because he knows these cheeky Zerglings would love to come in and mess with his day.
Under attack.
Correct. There's Lings of Bly just on the outside, waiting for their time to shine. Looks like Bly is just going to... looks like he just wants to get towards a third. Doesn't drop the Roach War or anything like that just at the moment.
Yeah. Third Queen on the way very quickly. I'm going to go for creep spread now, very on time. And hey, you're building a bunker. You're playing like super overly careful. Actually, Bly doesn't know about the bunker, but look at that. The Reaper leaves. The Lings run in immediately. They're going to see if they can grab an SCV or 2.
Bunker's up, thankfully, for Vindicta, so it's not going to be as bad. It's going to get almost 1 SCV. Good micro there for Vindicta, saving that SCV the last second.
Good micro from Vindicta. Pops out, pops back in, says, get out, get out, get out. Now the Reaper comes in and sees no third hatch, and that's like, whoa. This is just a 2-base muta build. Could be a Nidus, could be a few other things, but I'm pretty certain Bly has 2-base muta in mind, and there's... Oh! The Queen not attacking. The Reaper gets in, sees the lair.
Oh, that's huge.
Gonna see, yeah. I mean, seeing no third, you're already a little aware of stuff, but now you see the lair started, you're like, okay, there's options. I'm gonna get a tank for safety. Vindicta is in just 100% don't die mode right now. It's just bunker, tank. Like, he's getting a medevac. Do you think he goes just an 8? No, yeah, he cancels. I was like, why a medevac? I would expect a Viking.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, Vindicta here probably going to drop an engineering base shortly enough as that 3 base comes down, the 3 barracks go down. It's getting 3 barracks up before the third base. It is important to have that extra bit of production when you see that Zerg just go for that fast layer. You're like, okay, I need more units than I normally would have here. I can't just go 1-1 into a third base and hope for the best. I could just potentially die.
He's building a Banshee for safety as well. Now, this is nearly a mirror image of the Purity and Industry game we saw where... Sorry. I just got totally distracted by something. Never mind.
Okay. I thought you blue screen for a second there.
I almost did. I almost did.
FC has crashed?
I read something so dumb in Twitch chat that my brain almost broke.
That happens. I feel that happens. I've been streaming for years now.
Where you're trying to comprehend the incomprehensible, you know? You're trying to like truly understand what infinity means.
You've just seen the infinite. You've like touched the black pillar from Space Odyssey 2001.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, my brain doesn't have enough wrinkles to actually like understand this concept, man.
Meanwhile, you're trying to cast a Bly game and understand what he's doing, and it's like, oh my god, there's not enough processing power. All the information is being bottlenecked in my brain right
now. To summarize the thought, basically Burrowed Banes is what ended up getting Vindicta because he felt forced to really commit to a 3-base bio tank push. And I was saying that what I would have liked as a change up from Vindicta was actually going Widow Mines rather than tanks with it. Since he's going up against 2-base Muta, and I thought that would be a really good change up in general. So I want to see a reactor on that factory from Vindicta. He has gone a Banshee for like mega safety. It now confirms that there's Mutas out. It's slowed down his progression a little bit. So I feel like Vindicta, it's an okay position. Reactor on the factory makes me very happy. He just needs to make sure he doesn't slow down the third command center too much. I'm a big fan with this of pressuring, but actually going a quicker third CC, cutting a little bit of marine production. And he does it there. Yeah, you're going to notice he's going to falter a little bit on the upgrades on the marine production to get that third CC down, but it's very important that he starts that now.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Got the stim on the way here for the bio, not here just yet. Vindicta is still in don't die mode. And,
sees a lot of Ling Bane. Yeah, he scans the natural, lots of Ling Bane there. So he goes, okay, all right. I still got to be worried about a timing attack from you. 4th and 5th barracks on the way as I try to stop myself from sneezing. Creep spread. This is the power of Bly. He says, I've got full map control with the 2-base Muta. Just 3 creep tumors is going to give me epic creep spread. As long as I spread those consistently, I don't need 6 creep queens and 12 creep tumors. 3 creep tumors is all I need. This map is going to get covered, man. The infestation is here.
It is. He's got 3 creep highways being worked on right now.
Bly's gonna, like, he's ambush all-inning. So this is a special flavor of Zerg vs. Terran all-in, where you're saying, I'm gonna make so many units, and when your attack comes out, I'm gonna jump on it, murder it so one-sidedly that I either counterattack and win the game, or I just have, like, a free pass for the next few minutes. Like, Bly has been so slow to drone up his third. He's just starting to trickle a few more drones out, but you can see now he's getting more antsy because Vindicta hasn't moved out, and Vindicta says, I'm expecting this, scans the third and says, that's still not that many drones. I'm still just going to play really conservatively here. And Bly's like, okay, fine. Don't walk into my ambush, my massive Ling Bane I've been banking up in my base. All right, we'll drone. We'll make upgrades. We'll go to the next step, you know. As always, staying somewhat flexible, but Bly would still love the opportunity to just crush this army of Vindicta.
That certainly seems to be the case. Both players have had a couple macro snafus in this game. There's a block on 70 for Vindicta and a block on 114 for Bly, thereabouts, or 112. It was a little bit annoying, but other than that, both players are still kind of posturing here. I'm with you. I'm loving the Widow Mines from Vindicta as a switch-up because his reliance on tank last game honestly nearly cost him. I mean, obviously there was a little bit of miscontrol in the tanks, the pathing and stuff like that, but I really find it hard to feel confident to make Marine tank work against Ling Bane Muta.
Okay, I'm really respecting Vindicta right now. Vindicta's a player who is fiery, he's young, he likes to attack, and he really friggin' struggles when he's not the one dictating the pace of the game. But right now he is sitting at home, locked up tight, keeps scanning that third, and keeps saying it's the right call to stay at home. The one thing he's missing is a bit of macro, as you said. This is not his comfort zone. He's used to dictating the aggression. He's used to being out there punishing the Zerg player and having a kind of default game plan that he can just stick to. Right now, he is kind of going, his SCV production's not consistent. His depots keeps getting supply blocked. His 2-2's a little bit slow. He's still ahead of Bly because Bly has committed so hard. He's also just putting a crazy number of scans down in this third to the point where I think he's actually too afraid of Bly's army. Like, there's a point where it's like, okay, you don't need to see the third literally every 20 seconds. Like, as Vindicta, I want him to just knuckle down on his macro. And I think a few minutes ago, he could have scanned, said, there's no workers on the third, let's turtle for 2.5 minutes, make non-stop SCVs, and then at X point, I will push out and start clearing creep and reasserting myself on the map. I think he's been a little bit nervous. He's like, scan it. Oh, is there drones? Is there drones now? And you can kind of see him being almost overly flexible and not focusing on his fundamentals enough here. It's still good play, and he's still definitely treading water in terms of the army, looking even. He's a little ahead on the upgrades. But that work account now, Bly has just switched gears and said, hey, I've got 85 workers, and look at this scan is misleading. Oh no, Vindicta scans that. He's like, oh, you just started your 4th base? Okay, I guess we're doing good economically. Thankfully, this Marine, no, it needs to scout the work account. But the mutas are going to distract him as well. Vindicta needs to see that there's a fully saturated 4th. He's been so good at scouting up to now, but now he has no idea of the fact that Bly is on 85 workers. He thinks Bly is on 65, and that's a big lack of information. Vindicta's going to have no idea what to do in the next few minutes. He's going to make all the wrong calls.
Only good reaction at third base, at least. That baneling run by Bly gets dealt with very, very easily. Ooh!
Oh my god! There were 3 mines.
Mines underneath the tank.
He should have had a 4th, if only. It's always the 4th mine that finishes it, but the mutas were a bit spread anyway. Bly's just got that economy now, though. I think Bly is looking quite healthy. He's still only got 4 queens, so he's still kind of in this mode of waiting for Vindicta to come out on creep so we can stomp him, but he's going hive. He's got 2-2. He's already got +1 flyer attack done. He's adding 8 more mutas to go up to 23. There's a double Thor medevac as the mobile anti-muta squad. The muta's not really overextending anyway. Oh, that's a lot of Ling Bane. There's no Widow Mines up here right now. There's not many.
One.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Now, and Vindicta actually has a several layer deep defensive force here, so this is going to be an overextension from Bly. Oh, that Baneling connection though, excuse me. A lot of Marines went down there, and here comes the rest of the Banelings.
Oh, it's just too much though from Bly, and he's got so much economy to replace all this, and now he finds the workers. The Banelings could get the worker line, but Baneling does detonate on that, and yeah, Vindicta does get rolled. Oh my.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude. Straight up just Ling Baning down the throat of the Terran. What happened there, man? What happened there?
You called it. A few too many macro snafus, and it all comes from Bly just forcing Vindicta into a sort of game he never gets on the ladder. Vindicta's like, no, I attack, I get in my rhythm, I'm the one in charge. And as soon as he didn't do it, he looked nervous and out of sorts. Just, he dropped like, what, 12 scans? 8 on the 3rd, 1 on the 4th and the 5th. There's 3 different 4th locations on that map. Missed the right one. Didn't have enough Widow Mines up there on the top side. Missed too many rounds of unit production. And just unfortunately there, just got overwhelmed by a mass of Banelings. So really well played by Bly. As I said, you know, Vindicta looks great in a lot of situations against Bly, but Bly takes him so deep down the rabbit warren of weirdness. At a certain point, Vindicta does always look like he loses his footing. And that's a magic quality Bly does to a lot of people, but especially in his matches with Vindicta, we have seen him just really kicking ass with that. So GG, well played. Bly, once again, throwing his opponent into the washing machine.